Hey everybody, you've reached Elizabeth and Joanne with World's Cup of Joe, Awaken Your Soul. Before we get into our topic, which is going to be about oscillations in your twin flame journey, and if you need to balance out all your oscillations before you can be in physical union with your twin flame, I did want to let you guys know we are offering a 33% off Memorial Day sale off of all of our twin flame programs and one-on-one coaching sessions. So check it out on the link below. We want to help as many beautiful souls in this journey as possible. This journey is hard. We all know it, right? It's lonely. And let's get real. There's not a lot of people that understand truly how the energy plays out in a twin flame connection. So wherever you go and whoever you talk to normally is going to give you advice on how to interact with a soulmate. But your twin flame is not a soulmate. They are your soul. So you need to be able to interact through a place of balanced, neutralized soul energy. And that's what we're here showing you on this channel. So check out the link below and let's get on to the video.
Hello, our beautiful souls. We have this really amazing question that I think it's going to help so many beautiful souls. And the question is, do you have to let go of all the oscillations? So I've gone through all the oscillations before your twin flame can come back. What is it about the oscillations? And why are oscillations happening? So let's just start with that. Oscillations happen when you are going through this deep inner shift, inner work, and releasing your need.
Go even deeper and let's explain what oscillations are, because that might be a new term. That might be a term for people that aren't really familiar. They might even be experiencing it and don't know what the heck this is. So what an oscillation is basically lows and highs. The lows and highs of energy fluctuations based on what you're experiencing and what you're releasing.
So what happens when it comes to this connection is we get this soul activation, right? We have our bubble phase. We fall madly crazy, bat wild crazy about this person. And as soon as soul recognition happens, you now are being asked to interact with this person that you are madly like crazy about in a different way. That's what soul's trying to guide you to, right? But you don't know that. All you know is you want to be with them all the time. You think about them all the time. And why the hell are they running from you? And that's where the addictive energy ignites, the stalking, the looking, the seeking, the chasing, all of these things that make you push because your energy goes to them and continue to push. And again, you met this person because this is a spiritual awakening that's happening. Your soul is showing you how to be in soul with this one person. And what does that mean? Well, it means you're going to have to release the part of you that's needing, wanting, chasing your twin flame. And what does that mean? It means you have to cut off all of the leaks that's going to them. It means you have to detox from the addictive energy so you can really align with soul. And that's where the oscillations happen. Why? Because once you close the leak, my love, it sucks. I'm warning you. If you were stalking the heck out of social media and you're getting updates of your twin flame and you're getting hits after hits, feeling like you're closer to them, because that's what my mind did when I would get into social media. I felt like I was a little closer to him, even though we were in separation, but I was getting updates on what he's doing, thinking, and feeling without knowing that all of that energy was going to my twin flame. And so until I close the leak, that's when I can actually feel soul. I can feel peace. Your ascension starts to rise and you just start to be at one with everything. And that's what soul is. But the mind likes to fight, and the mind is going to have relapses and is going to want to keep feeding that addictive energy. So it's kind of like, well, I was getting hits of social media every day, and now I'm being asked to close those off so I can sit with myself and experience all of the triggers that's coming up, that's being worked up from wanting to stalk, wanting to chase, wanting to contact, wanting to drive by their house, wanting to do. Those energies have to be worked through, and it's an inner work. So Could your twin flame be with you when you're in addictive energy? It's very rare, my love. Could your twin flame be with you before you work through the oscillations? Well, the oscillations happen when you're releasing the addictive energy. And so if you still have addictive energy, they might be around you temporarily, but it's not long term. It's not permanent relating experiences, right? It's not where they're contacting you every day and want to be with you every day and want to sit with you every day and trying to see you every day, right? The energies of twin flames that we work with that are in a space where they are magnetic to their divine masculine, the inner work, all of those triggers and oscillations and things like that, that was worked on their own, because our twin flame is not going to help us with our oscillations. In fact, they can't be around you when you're doing all that stuff. They probably could if you're trying to do it by watching the mind. That's the balancing, right? My twin flame's next to me. I feel triggered. I'm going to go into the restroom. I'm going to go into a room. I'm going to go into my car, and I'm just going to take a moment to ooze the energy out. Yes, they can absolutely be with you. But if you're going through these oscillations and you're going up and down your addictive energy, your twin flame's not going to be in your space. They cannot be in your space because you still have mine leaking out to your twin flame. So when I was looking at my person's social media, no, they were nowhere near me. I'm going to be real. They're not. They're not going to be near me. When were they near me? They were near me when I stopped watching the social media. I stopped watching the tarot readings. I stopped watching and looking and listening for ways my mind can leak. I started to go within and I started to close those leaks. And that's where the oscillations happen, my love. It's the ups and downs. It's feeling really good because you know you can detach and surrender. And then the mind feeling like crap because it doesn't want to surrender and detach. You're fighting between mind and soul, mind and soul, mind and soul. So yes, you will feel the triggers. You will feel the addictive memories. You will feel these things be released. The more and more you do, the more and more your twin flame will be there. So you don't have to 100% release all of the oscillations and triggers for your twin flame to be there. That's impossible. Like I said, me and Elizabeth are still dealing with crap throughout the day, but none of those crap has to do with our twin flame. So I want you to know, if you're still dealing with triggers and leaks and things that are oscillating in regards to your twin flame, yes, you will need to handle those things, because the stuff we deal with are not about our twin flame anymore. We work through all that crap with our twin flame so that we can balance everyone else in our space, so we can not be as triggered when they say anything that they say. They just say what they say, and you're conscious and present with them. And that's where you can be in a permanent relating experience. But if you are in addictive energy, you're worried about what they're doing, thinking, and feeling, they are not going to be able to stay in your space. They might be able to see you one time, but the next time you see them again, you're going to be asked to balance. You're going to be asked to go and take that moment to do that inner work so that you don't have a lot of ups and downs, right? The way Elizabeth explained what oscillations are, the ups and downs of peace, fear, love, mind, right? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth about your twin flame. You can be back and forth with soul and mind about your aunt, your uncle, the world. But if it's about your person, back and forth, mind and soul, you cannot sustain them. You have to be in a place of soul. You have to be in a place of neutrality. And that's what happens, love. That's why our detox is really, really freaking powerful. The reason why it's so powerful when you really go all in, and why a lot of twin flames contact us days into program, is because those that really go all in and choose them, their soul knows. Their soul knows. You are your soul, right? So if you're really going all in for you, your soul knows. If you know you're not going all in for you and you got leaks, your soul knows that too. So there's no BSing your soul. Your soul knows if really it's about you. And so those that go all in, it's like clockwork, because the energy reveals itself. And that's where all those oscillations and triggers and things gets worked through about your twin flame from within. Why the heck did I have to work through all this stuff on my own? Well, it's because they're you. You're doing the inner work regarding your soul, my love. You're aligning with soul for you. all of this inner work that's being done is only done by you. You're the one that's experiencing them. So you're the one that's going to have to release them and work through them. And it's hard. We know it's hard. We know it's hard because every single day we're balancing too. And we know how it was to balance those things before. So we want you to know you can do it. You're not on your own. And we're not the only beautiful souls that's doing the same inner work. We're all in this together, my love. And so when it feels lonely, you feel a little lost, and you're going through the oscillations, know it's normal. Oh, this is normal. Joanna Elizabeth said this is going to happen. In fact, expect you to feel those oscillations of feeling highs and lows, because guess what? What you're going through is you're going through a place of neutrality. The high and the low clashes, so the duality goes away, and you're tapping into singularity where there is no good or bad, and it just is, and that's neutrality. It's going to take a lot of patience, love, a lot of self-love in that process. But when you get to the other side of that cray up and down, you're not high. So this is the cool part. You're not high, right? But you're also not low. You're at peace. And that's your sweet spot, my love. That is where your twin flame can come. And that is when you're at peace within your balancing work of the highs and the lows. I'm not high, I'm not low, I'm at peace, I'm neutral. Oh, look, my twin flame's here. Oh, look, I got a message. You're in the space of neutrality. And that's where, when they come in, you still continue to balance that same inner work, aligning back to soul. And that's what allows them to stay. You're maintaining your soul energy because your twin flame is you. What do you think, love?
So I want everyone who's listening to know, Joanne, you and I actually had a really good discussion on this question before we even decided we were going to make a video. And what's so cool is whenever we get questions like this, right, you and I both put on our soul caps, our soul hats, and we are able to answer through the lens of soul without duality. And what's so cool is that you and I literally always have the same answer. Like, we don't ever deviate from each other. You definitely go more macro and I go more micro in our answers and our debate on it, but it's always the same answer. So in this question, when we like went deep with each other in talking about it, I really want to get into the headspace of where was I at when I did start balancing and my person came in. Because the question, can you do all the oscillations with your person? And you and I both came up to that same conclusion. No, like, the oscillations are not the really impactful, heavy ones when you're balancing your person back in. It's actually before they come back in. And why is that? Because that's when you're releasing the mind, like you explained. So for me personally, my oscillations looked like I was in a place like most of you have all been in, and whether you're still there now, everything was really dark. Like, I was in a really dark place, and suddenly I'm doing this inner work, and suddenly I'm seeing these like little sparks of peace, these little sparks throughout my day of peace. And then I would call you, Joanna, and I'm like, I feel like I'm doing so amazing. And then the next day I would call you and I'm like, I feel like I just took 10 steps back. What's going on? And then you explain to me what an oscillation even is. You're like, you're fluctuating up and down. With every high has to come a low, because you're actually balancing your base level of consciousness with each of these oscillations. And that's why it feels so painful. You're actually releasing some of these energies that you've been storing for so long. And that's where the rise up to neutrality happens. And that's why your person can come back in. So you actually need to go through all these things so that you can raise your levels up to neutral. Because if you don't oscillate, you're staying in the same lower levels of consciousness that pushed your person away in the beginning of soul recognition. So you're actually trying to raise yourself up so that you can get to this space of neutrality so that your person can come back in. It's really hard for the mind to understand, because all you're seeing is the emotional side of it, which is the energies that are getting released and activated, but you're not understanding, or you're not the mind is not able to see the big picture of what's going on energetically 10,000 feet above, right? Where it's, okay, this is occurring in order for my entire levels of consciousness to raise up so that I can be in this space where I am magnetic to the vibration that is my person. And it's a really cool thing, oscillations, but they feel really hard, but that is the inner work. So for me, I'm going through these oscillations and I feel like I'm taking 10 steps back every time I take one giant leap forward. And as soon as the balancing happens, and you know that you're starting to be balanced energetically because you're having longer and longer spaces of that neutral. And when I say neutral, I don't mean you're high vibing all day long. I'm saying you're not seeing duality the same way. When something happens, you can be at peace with it and acceptance of it instead of judging it. That's neutrality. And so, for example, I pick my phone up and I don't see a text message, even though my person and I are talking at this point, and I'm talking years ago when I'm starting to balance them back in. I pick up my phone, I don't see a message. I'm okay with it. I'm still at peace with it. That's neutral. I don't care if he messages. I don't care if he doesn't. I'm good either way. That's neutrality. That was able to occur because of all the oscillations that I went through, all of the releasing of the mind that I went to. You are shedding the layers of self that are not you in this journey. And the more and more you get to the true you, the one that does not see duality, that does not judge things, the one that has no expectations, the one that is soul, that is when your person can come back. And that is after a lot of the oscillations occur because you have released a lot of the mind. This is high level balancing stuff we're talking about right here. Seriously, it is. Because we're not talking about, okay, this is what you need. This is what you need in order to get your twin flame. We're talking about what you need to do in order to release mind, in order to ascend in yourself, in your journey. And the result is the same thing, though. You get your person. So everything that the mind wants, I want my person, I want my person, I want my person, you're getting when you go within to this place of understanding how the energy works, how the energy is at play. So the more and more mind fear-based energies you can release, that's when your person's able to come back in, because you're not fluctuating the way you were when you were around them in the addictive energy. I know for me, my addictive energy was so freaking toxic. My person could have said anything and it would have ignited it. It would have put me in mind. It would have put me in fear. It would have made me question everything he'd said. And now it's so weird because anything he says, I just see it through the point of neutral. I am neutral with him. There's nothing he can say that really gets me off my game anymore, where literally everything he would have said would have made me fluctuate, would have ignited it. And now it's just, it is what it is. I'm neutral. I'm going to be in this space. And lo and behold, he's always there. He's never leaving. He will never go anywhere. And I'm confident in that. I'm so confident in that. And Joanne, you're so confident in that with your person. It's because we know how this energy works. We watch it. We go within every time it starts fluctuating now. We've done the hard inner work of feeling into these oscillations at the beginning before our person came back. And that's why we said all of this stuff, separation is really preparation for union. It really is. Separation is preparation for union, because now that we've experienced the separation and we know how to go within, we are fully prepared to stay in union in the physical for the rest of our lives. I say that confidently. Granted, we are very present with everything, but we know deep down our people are not going anywhere. Union in the physical is for life now, because we know how to balance this energy.
And you know what's really cool, love? So even though it feels like you're starting over every time, you're not. You're never starting over. You're always ascending. So the inner work that feels like ongoing is really, you're shifting. And so this is for all of you guys that are feeling like, I feel like crap. I feel like crap. You're never going to feel the same crappy dark night that you did that first dark night, right? The first dark night. And so this is what it starts to feel like with your twin flame. It just starts to be more and more and more balanced, more neutralized, more at peace. And you can maintain this permanently with your twin flame. The more and more you do this inner work, within yourself. You are preparing to be one with your twin flame when you're one with yourself, because your twin flame is you. You are doing this work within yourself because you are your soul. You are your twin flame. You are the oneness, my love. There is no separation between the soul. So when you do the inner work to be soul, becoming neutral, right? With this one person, love, like seriously, this one person, how can, and this is a question for all of you, how can I be neutral with this one person? And if I'm not there yet, how can I work through that inner shift? Working through what is not neutral. That still allows the mind to have the highs and lows, right? Desire, the conditional love, right? The stories, the highs and the lows. And how can I get to a place where I am neutral, where I can pick up the phone and not give an F? Because soul doesn't give an F if your person's contacting you or not. And that's usually when the twin flames that we hear from their twin flames. The divine feminines that we work with hear from the twin flames when they're not looking for them. Find one twin flame that says, I was looking and chasing and trying to get my twin flame, and now they're back. It's not going to work that way. This is how you know it's a twin flame connection. The twin flame connection is energetic. You're looking for them, they're running. You're going within, you're aligning with soul, they're right next to you. So if there's a part of you still chasing and looking and seeking, that's the part that needs to be neutralized, and that's the part that is going to oscillate when you're releasing it, love, because that's not you, it's mind. It's fear. It's a part of you that is not soul. It's the part of you that sees your person separate and is seeking that body and mind of your person and not aligning with the part of you that is soul, where you're both one. The body and mind, it's gone. Soul is what brings you together, and that's where you're coming one to. That's what you become one to. And that's why when you reach this unity consciousness with everything, right? Me and Elizabeth were just going over like high vibing and how connected we are with everything, even trees. I was telling her, I love the freaking trees. The trees, I'm so envious of them because they have no fear. They're literally God, right? It's like closer to God than anyone else because they're pure being. But obviously God created duality so we can experience the differences between pure love, which is God, and fear, which is mind, which is not soul. How do you become one like the trees? How do you become one like the birds in the sky? How do you become the sky? How do you become the trees? And that's your twin flame, my love. It's neutral light, right? It isn't chasing. It isn't doing games. It's focusing on that inner work and aligning yourself with you. And the stories go away. It's pure freaking being. I didn't even know we were going to go to unity consciousness on this oscillation video. But this is what happens, love. You start feeling oneness. And if you have the
Joanne, it's natural that we're going to go unity consciousness because that's what this journey is.
Yeah. But what I'm saying to all of you guys that have bad days, it's okay. I want you to even say it out loud. It's okay. It's okay. If anything, I was looking for this because I want to make sure I work through and balance the bad days with the good days, because I know I'm getting to a place of neutrality, and that's where I know I'm on the right space. I'm on the right space because that's where your twin flame is, my love, in that place after the ups and downs are worked through internally, where you can be at peace. I don't think I had time to be one with the trees when I was in my mind with stories, tracking my person and looking at his social media. There was no room for being one with the trees. While being one with the trees is actually my twin flame. Being one with the trees is why he calls me, why he seeks me. He texts me right before I looked at my phone when Elizabeth said, look at your phone. I looked at my phone and I saw a text that says, how are you doing, love? Why did he text me right now? Because he feels that oneness. He doesn't know, right? Just like Elizabeth, she gets goat pics or news information. At the moment, when soul is one, you're oscillating through fear, you're oscillating through mind, and you're able to get the gifts of oneness, which is unity consciousness. And that's your twin flame, my love. Catch our sale, everything in our holiday store. is 33% off. If you're not in communication, we highly recommend doing the detox. If you're needing help to balance, balancing programs there. We're here to help you. We love you guys so much. We hope you have an amazing, amazing day. Bye, love.
Bye, love.